Welcome to Doctors Unbound, your show devoted to doctors who are, well, unbound by physician stereotypes. Get a behind-the-scenes look at doctors that are breaking the mold and breaking into the worlds of technology, writing, investing, politics, just to name a few. This is Doctors Unbound, where you'll hear from experts with the insights to help you go to the next level. Let's get this show started. Here is your host, Dr. Dave Draginas.
Welcome to another episode of Doctors Unbound. I'm just planning on this being a short Merry Christmas episode here. So Merry Christmas and Happy Holidays to you and your family. If you're off, not working today, take some time to reflect on how blessed you truly are. Hug those loved ones really tight. We don't know it when it might be the last chance that we get to do that. If you're working today, thank you so much for your service. People get sick on the holidays too, and it's our job to take care of them. Hopefully you're in a situation where you're well supported and you get to rotate those working holidays so that while you're working on this one, hopefully you'll get the next one off. And thank you so much for being a loyal listener. December has already been our month with the most downloads, and we're not even into Christmas and New Year yet. So I'm really happy to see the growth of the podcast. That's a testament to you, the listener out there, tuning in. So thank you so much for that. Alongside of that, if every listener would just tell 2 people about the show, that would do amazing things for this podcast. So, consider it a combo Christmas gift if you're in the spirit and an early birthday gift to me. Tell just 2 people who you think might enjoy this show about it. Let them know. That would do so much for Doctors Unbound. And thank you in advance. Among some podcasting circles, it's said that if you can reach 15 episodes, you are likely to keep podcasting for the long run. Well, we hit 15 episodes last week, and we did it without missing a single week since the week that we launched. So it's a nice little win that I am celebrating with you here today. So what I'd like to do in this episode here, Christmas edition, is to touch on some of the key lessons that I've learned in these first 15 episodes. We've had some awesome guests so far, and I've learned a ton from them. Let's highlight some of those lessons here. Lesson number 1, the importance of your network. You've probably already heard this quote before, and I'm not sure exactly who came up with it, but your network is your net worth. I've definitely seen that play out many times as I work to build Doctors Unbound. And for those of you that are familiar with the Bible, how about Ecclesiastes 11, which says, "Cast your bread upon the waters, for you will find it after many days." Now, I remember growing up, my father used to preach on this topic, and he would do it in relation to donating money to the church. But what I've discovered is that it really applies to networking, and really that bread is anything of value that we bring to the table, right? So be willing to help those around you with no expectation of anything in return. You'll be amazed how unexpectedly awesome things come your way. Things that are probably orders of magnitude better than what you would have hoped to barter, for your expertise or money or whatever. If this isn't something that you regularly practice already, make it a New Year's resolution and start experimenting with this concept soon. I guarantee you won't be disappointed. One way that I'm looking to take my network to the next level is to participate in mastermind groups. I haven't nailed down anything as of yet, but I really believe that this could really help me develop Doctors Unbound a lot quicker. I've been approached by several people, some in the podcasting space, some outside of it, about mastermind groups, and it's really something that I'm looking at closely right now. If you're listening out there and you're interested in some kind of mastermind community that helps all of us implement many of the concepts that we learn here at Doctors Unbound, reach out to me and let me know if there's any kind of serious interest. I'd be happy to get something like that set up for us as our community and our group develops. The whole point of listening to Doctors Unbound is for all of us to make improvements and get better. A mastermind type of community could create, an environment of accountability to really implement a lot of the important concepts that we learn here. So again, if that's something that you're interested in and you'd like for me to set something up, let me know. And if there is some interest, I'll get that moving. Lesson number 2, leverage your resources. Now, some of these might be more abundant for some of us than for others, but some of these resources are things like money, time, technology, mentors, and network, which we just covered. The really successful doctors, businessmen, writers, leaders, etc., are leveraging most, if not all, of their resources. So let's go through some of these resources. I won't spend as much time on all of them, but just kind of hitting some highlights. Money. Most doctors that have finished their training have more money than time. And we'll discuss time too here in a second. So use your money to buy back your time. Now, just as a little side note here, investors are also leveraging others people's money, right? So they're even leveraging it further. I've done this to some degree as far as leveraging my money, for example, by investing in certain software that automates social media. But I know I can do even better, perhaps by hiring virtual assistants to completely manage that aspect of the site for me. So this is going to be an area of focus for me in 2018. Use some of the money that I earn to free up more of my time. So let's move on to time then as another one of our resources. Now think about it. Time really is your most valuable resources. We don't get any time back, right? None of us do. So when I sit on my living room floor playing Legos with my 3 little kids, and I see just how fast they're growing up, I am reminded that time is my most valuable resources. Use it wisely, right? I know I can certainly do better in this category, but here's just some of the ways I freed up my time and became more productive in 2017. I bought several podcasting courses and communities. So basically, by using money, I bought back time, and I made sure I was learning from real experts in the field. And once I did that, I had no problem paying for their expertise so that I can shortcut my time to knowing exactly what I was doing. I'm certain I wouldn't have successfully launched this podcast this year in 2017 if it weren't for these 2 podcasting products that I purchased. So certainly not as a full-time physician with 3 little kids. So, that's one thing that I did to buy back some of my time. What else can we do, and what else have I done? I attended 2 conferences that were related either to podcasting or online business. So at these conferences, I met mentors, I expanded my network, I got to experiment with new and existing technology, and I efficiently expanded my knowledge in the particular fields of podcasting and online business. So you see how interrelated all these different leverage points are, all these different resources really are. Going to conferences also takes you out of the grind of the day-to-day, and it really allows you to step back and do some higher level thinking that is really necessary for your business or project. So my plan for 2018 is to go to at least 2 more of these types of conferences. How about technology? Let's look at technology here for a second. When it comes to creating an online business, a product, a brand, a passion project. The technology today is simply amazing. If you really just think about it, you can put up a blog or podcast that has a global reach for less than about $100 a month. The barrier to entry is really extremely low. I mean, think about that. Isn't that an awesome age that we live in to be able to do that for such a low amount of money? So, definitely take advantage of the technology that is at your disposal. How about mentors? Let's talk a little bit about mentors. I could, do probably a whole entire podcast in and of itself on this topic. And I've been thinking about that for some time, and I probably will do that in the future. But let's just hit on a few of the highlights here. Mentors can make your success much bigger, and they can do it in a quicker amount of time. So be sure to seek out mentors in specific areas that you want to excel in. So for example, if you're looking to develop a real estate portfolio, find a mentor that has done that. Or if you want to advance your career in medical leadership, again, find the mentor that has been there, done that, has been leader in the hospital, surgery center, wherever it is that you want to make a bigger impact. So here's a couple of steps that will increase your chances of getting a great mentor. Number one, do your homework. Research everything that you can about him or her. Take time to really craft a great email if that's the way that you are going to be reaching out to them initially. Number two, ask excellent questions. Can't emphasize that enough. Very simple. Just ask them excellent questions. Number three, let the relationship take its course. Don't force it. The best relationships take some time to develop. And number four, find ways to give back value to your mentor. Often, this might be something that can save them time, right? Because you're not going to have the information or the knowledge to bring to them because they're the mentor. You're seeking that from them. But find out ways that you can value maybe by saving them time, offering to do something, compiling some list for them. Maybe it is doing some kind of an analysis that helps you learn and saves them time. Just be creative and just find ways to give back value, and that will solidify the relationship. So instead of asking for the relationship, hey there, can you, will you be my mentor? Just focus on simply building a great relationship. And finally, we're going to move on to lesson number 3, and that is the importance of systems and automation. You put all of the above together that we talked about through systems and through automation. So think about what it is that you want to build, what you're building, and put together the systems for that. So, I'll take an example of an online business or website, but it really could be anything that you're interested in building. But if you're building an online business, let's say, what might you need systems for? Well, you need a system for getting people's attention, right? So, you just because you build it doesn't mean that they will come, right? You're going to build that website and it's going to sit there with no visitors. So you need to build a system to get people's attention. So this could include a social media strategy, right? This might include a virtual assistant to post for you. It might include some software to automate your social media posts like MeetEdgar or eClincher or Hootsuite or something similar to that. So this would also include networking with other influencers and content creators that are in your niche so that they take notice of you. Maybe they promote something that you've done and help you grow your notice that way. So let's move on to number 2. You then need a system for getting them onto your email list, right? So if you have an online business, you need an email list. So this is a little bit harder for podcasts because a lot of times you're a podcast listener, but you might never go to the website. There are plenty of podcasts that I listen to where I may have never gone to the website, but it's still important to build an email list so that you can communicate regularly with your audience and figure out how to better serve them. This is key to building a relationship with your audience. So for me, this is an area where I definitely want to improve in the coming year. I do have an email sign up on my website, but I do need to be more engaged with it. So if you want to track my journey with my email list, head over to Doctors Unbound and subscribe to my list. And then you'll see kind of what I have in store for it in this coming year. But, if you're building an online business, you're going to need an email list. And then number 3, if you have a business, you're probably selling something, so you'll need a system for selling your product, right? Now, if you've done number 1 and number 2 right, any product that you will come up with will essentially sell itself. And what I mean by that is because you've developed something that your audience has already told you that it wants, and you've consistently delivered great value for free through your website, podcast, blog post, etc. When you finally have a product or recommendation, many will become buyers because they already know, like, and trust you. So your website, your email list, and your social media accounts will plug into your system to sell whatever it is that you've determined is a pain point and a solution for your audience. And, at that point, you might even mix in paid advertising to target, other people who don't know about you yet, but might benefit from the product or expertise that you're selling. So that kind of gives you an example just for an online business, but it could be anything. It might be you want to brand yourself, and you need to think about the systems that you need to put in place to build that. But that kind of gives you a basic overview. To summarize the 3 different lessons, 3 very basic lessons that I've learned from many of my guests so far is number 1, build your network. Number 2, leverage your resources. And number 3, implement systems and automation. When you do all of those above correctly, you free up your time to do the higher level thinking that's really necessary for the overarching strategy of your venture. So when you do the above 3 points, what you're doing is you're freeing yourself to be working on your business instead of in your business. And that's where the big success comes, right? So that is about it. I am going to wrap up this episode right here. Here's to big success to all of us in 2018 and beyond. Thank you again for being a loyal listener. And till the next episode.
Thank you for listening to Doctors Unbound podcast. Remember to head over to doctorsunbound.com to access all the show notes and resources discussed in this episode. Now, it's your turn to be unbound.